Hey guys, what's up? GreenMachineSam back with another video, and today we have a Madden 24 roster update guide. Now, of course, we do need to get a couple things out of the way, some important information regarding the roster. Not a whole ton has actually happened in the NFL universe. There's been definitely a lot of signings and player movement, of course. You have Stefon Diggs going to Houston. You have guys like Isaiah Simmons and Mike Dana re-signing with their teams from last year, as well as Clyde Edwards-Helaire and many, many others. Of course, I can't remember all these guys off the top of my head, so if I miss a player, if I don't recognize a player or say a player, it's not because I didn't put them on their correct team, it's because I didn't remember them, okay? So that is first and foremost. And just because I don't get a video out, doesn't mean the roster isn't being updated. Go in and check on Madden every single day. You'll see updates at least once a day. I normally get at least once a day done. At least I've gotten one a day done every single day since free agency has started, and that will probably continue as long as there is player movement. If there's no player movement, I can't really update anything. I might still upload the file just to be safer than sorry, but if there's no player movement, I can't really do much. I can't do anything. Of course, there are jersey number changes all the time as well, so that is something I can always do as well, and I am currently doing that, just to let you guys know as well. If you go look at a big example is the Houston Texans. A lot of their defensive linemen picked out jersey numbers, as well as even guys like Stefon Diggs in their defensive back room picked out their jersey numbers. So those guys are done. Of course, when something like a Stefon Diggs trade happens, and somebody and Jimmy Ward switches from 1 to 20, then CJ Henderson has to switch his number, which he originally picked out as 20, and then apparently switched over to 21 once Jimmy Ward had to pick a new number as well. All that fun stuff. And then next thing is, this is a PS5 exclusive roster. Sorry to anybody that does have an Xbox or is on PC. And this is, of course, PS5, so new gen exclusive roster as well. I'm sorry to anybody that doesn't have those consoles. It's just my preferred console of choice at the moment. I play all my Xbox games on my PC, and I play PC games, of course. And then, I figure Madden 24, I still haven't been able to get Madden 24 to run correctly, even with mods. So I've kind of given up on playing Madden 24 on PC. So there's also that. And I would assume the Madden modding community probably does a pretty good job for Madden 24 as well. So for their rosters especially. So first things you're going to want to do is head over to this little NFL Shield icon. It's the Creation Center. You're going to want to head over to Share and Manage Files. Of course, go to Download Community Files. And of course, we are on the front page now. We are the #1 download roster on PS5. So here it is, Madden 25 roster update. #1 off-season roster for Madden 23. Check out YouTube for more information. If you're watching this video, you're already here. And then, of course, I list off some of the more recently known moves. Stefon Diggs to Houston, Kyle Van Noy back to Baltimore, La'el Collins to Buffalo, and Randy Gregory to Tampa. For some reason, it wouldn't allow me to add the date. So, yeah, you may not see it, at least in the video or on the file name from now on. It said that it was inappropriate and invalid. So there is that. There is another roster that you guys can download. It's just called Madden 24 roster update instead of Madden 25. It has less downloads. If you search by date added right now, you should be able to see it. Yeah, right here. It's virtually the same roster. For some reason, you want to go download that one for some reason instead, because it says Madden 24. It don't matter. They're both the same. Now, of course, one thing that you have to do, no matter what you plan on doing with the roster, whether it's starting up a new franchise, playing Play Now, or just looking at the roster in general, you do have to go into the roster load and delete section, and you do have to load the roster. Now, for me personally, I just like ending up loading it twice. It just makes it easier for me. The story goes that 1 year while I was updating the roster, I was doing a bunch of stuff, and I remembered, and I went and looked to see if I had the correct roster, because I saw a player that wasn't on the correct team that I had done like the previous night or something, and I realized I didn't load the roster, and all my work that I had just done for like 45 minutes was for nothing, and I had to restart. So, of course, go to Edit Roster, and you can go to Manage Players, and you can see that the roster is here. We're going to go over a couple of the more recent moves. Like I said, La'el Collins to the Bills. Here he is. He's listed as a guard in Madden. He's 6'4", so it's reasonable. Guard is probably one of their worst positions on their offensive line. Deion Dawkins is still here. David Edwards is going to be the starting guard as of right now. Will Clapp and Connor McGovern are their two centers. Osiris Torrance is the reason why I didn't have Lil playing right guard instead is because Osiris Torrance is a rookie, now going to be a second-year man. And then, of course, Spencer Brown. Another couple big names that got signed. Mike Danna got a 3-year deal from the Chiefs. Carson Wentz got a 1-year deal to come in and be that backup. I did finally release Blaine Gabbert. Didn't know he was a free agent, so I did get him released. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is back on a 1-year deal, all that fun stuff. Nothing has happened with Rashid Rice's situation, so he hasn't gotten anything. The Commanders, of course, signed Zacchaeus. They also had a couple jersey numbers that were changed because of players finally picking out their jersey numbers. So there is that. Dorrance Armstrong finally picked out his jersey number. Anthony Pittman and Keandre Jones, Michael Davis, James Pierre, and all that fun stuff. As well as a guy like Jeremy Chin. And of course, somebody asked me one time, left a comment down on one of the videos, was like, hey, are you going to change the roster update thumbnail because the dude has a different jersey number than what's pictured? No. Most of the guys that are on those are going to have just jersey numbers that I think they would probably have. So that is something. I'm not going to go back and change a thumbnail just because somebody finally picked out their jersey number. Tier Tart signs with the Miami Dolphins, a former Titan and Houston Texan at this point. Some other movement. I know people said Kirk Cousins' jersey number was wrong. It's been fixed for a while. So there's that. I think I got Hendon Hooker's correct. I think he switched to number 2. I think I got that correct. Like I said, some big names on the Texans picked out their jersey numbers. Stephon Diggs going to 1, Joe Mixon 28, Danielle Hunter 25, Jimmy Ward to 20. All that fun stuff. Just a whole bunch of different people getting jersey numbers. I know some of the Steelers picked out some of their jersey numbers as well. Justin Fields going to number 2, Kyle Allen to number 4, Cameron Johnson to number 5. Just a whole ton of different stuff. Dante Jackson to 26. I figured he would take 26 as well. So, Dean Lowry going to 94. All that fun stuff. Like I said, there's a ton of stuff to go look at on the roster. There's still a ton, not left to do, but as players do sign and pick out their jersey numbers, there's still going to be stuff to go do. The one thing I will say is I don't have custom depth charts just yet. I'm going to wait on custom depth charts until the draft and until I get the rookies out. So it's probably going to sort by best overall for a lot of these players. If you guys don't like that, you guys can go and change that yourself. I'm just currently waiting. The only team that's currently set up as custom is the Bears right now. That's the only team that is currently set up as a custom depth chart. Like I said, it's not that big of a deal. Most of the depth chart should be relatively fine. It's just one team that I did notice that fucked up with a lot of their positions was the Bears. They had Kevin Byard playing the slot. They had DJ Moore playing the slot over Keenan Allen. They had, what was another big one? Oh, they had fucking TJ Edwards playing as an edge because their second best edge is like a 72 overall. That doesn't make sense. They would play an edge. They wouldn't have TJ Edwards playing edge. So if there's anything I missed, whether it's a player that's not supposed to be on a team or whatever, go ahead and let me know down below in the comments. I'll try to fix it as best as possible. Now, of course, something that I didn't mention earlier and I probably should have is that on some teams there are positional requirements. So I do have to move players around as well as, especially on the O-line for a lot of these teams, I do have to move players around. The Cowboys will show you the most right now. Dakota Shepley, I had to move around. Trent Sieg, Martez Ivy. Martez Ivy isn't even on the Cowboys. Sieg is a long snapper. All these different things. So when it comes to positional requirements, there are going to be some teams that have players that are not supposed to be on the team. Maybe it's because I didn't release them because they need positional requirements, or it's because I had to go sign like a 55 overall and put them on the team just to make sure that I could be at positional requirements because they were losing somebody of value that I wanted to get off the team. All that different stuff. The way I basically thought of it is if this team doesn't really care about this player and this player isn't probably going to get signed right away, I probably left them on the team. If it was the other way around where it was like, hey, a lot of teams are going to care about this player, I went ahead and signed basically a filler and removed them from the team. Like I said, of course, there's a whole ton more moves. We talked about Randy Gregory going to Tampa, all that fun stuff. a bunch of other stuff. I know Avonte Maddox went back to the Eagles. All types of insane stuff. The Eagles players picked out a couple new jersey numbers as well. Antonio Hamilton going to the Falcons as well. Like I said, there's a ton to go over in the roster. I'm not going to go over every single move. If you guys want to go check out exactly what moves have been made, the two that I have found the most recent and up to date is Spot Track, and then of course NFL Rumors are probably the two best. I would say, Spot Track and NFLTradeRumors.com. Those are probably the two best that I've used. They just give you the most information, are the most up to date, as well as I use Adam Schefter and Ian Rappaport, and then I use NFL jersey number changes, NFL jersey numbers on Twitter to get a lot of my jersey number information. So if somebody has a different jersey number and they don't post it, I'll probably get to it eventually. I'll probably look into it. Probably when the teams are more settled in May, I'll probably go through, make sure all jersey numbers are correct on teams. But for now, that's about it. One thing I forgot to mention, and this is probably kind of big, and this is probably something else I probably should have said earlier. There's a couple things I can't change when it comes to rosters in Madden that EA just doesn't allow us to do. Us as in creators. I can't change experience. I can't change age. I can't change dev trait. I can't change contract information. A lot of that basic stuff. I can't change portraits. I can't do a lot of that. You got to work with me. It's a give and take, right? It's not like NBA 2K where I can change virtually everything about a player and get them correct and on the right spot so that when you load up your franchise, it's as correct as possible. I can't do contract numbers. If you didn't know, when you release a player in Madden and then you re-sign them in the free agency tab over here, everything's based off of overall. The easiest way to show you is anybody that is 75 and above, like Zeke, would be getting a 3-year deal and a different value. Of course, each overall point determines a little bit more value on your contract. So there is that. Only up to a certain extent, though. I know if you sign them as a 95 overall quarterback, it's virtually the most money that you can possibly give somebody. And of course, it can only give you 3 years. So 75 and up is a 3-year deal. 74 through 60 is a 2-year deal, like you see with the quarterbacks. And of course, like I said, with each overall point, it will determine how much money that player is getting. And then 59 below is, of course, a 1-year deal. As you see, price goes down. Some things that do happen is based off of age as well. We'll get a little bit more money. So there is that as well. But that's how I can get my contracts. So 2-year deals, they're going to be cheaper. I can't quite get them to those like 2-year $10 million deals or 2-year $8 million deals like I think Cordell Patterson signed for, and even Kyle Van Noy at this point. So you got to work with me a little bit. That's something that you're going to have to do. I try to get at least the years done correctly. Of course, like I said, I can only go up to 3 years. And then, of course, if anybody's overall is incorrect, let me know. I'm more than happily fix it. If they're in the wrong position, whatever, let me know down below. I will gladly fix that. As we're talking about that, I'm going to make sure that everybody that was supposed to get signed did get signed. Yeah, it looks like it. And then here are the retirements for anybody wondering as well. Just so that you guys know, Aaron Donald, Matthew Slater, Fletcher Cox, Darren Waller, Leighton Vander Esch, Jason Kelsey, Derek Watt, Damian Harris, Corey Lindsley, and Cody Davis. A lot of these guys are confirmed. For some reason, I thought I saw something that either might have confirmed Darren Waller was retired. If he wasn't, I will gladly fix it. But I thought I saw something where it did confirm that he was retired and all that fun stuff. Like I said, if you guys enjoy this content or the content here on my channel, I would appreciate it if you guys do stick around and subscribe. I have more videos like this coming out, whether it's roster updates, off-season videos, all types of stuff, rebuilds, franchise, all the fun stuff about Madden. I'll have a ton of stuff coming out hopefully over the next couple weeks, and then I'll have draft content the week of the draft. I hope to do some other fun stuff this year as well, not just the same old, same old. Hopefully I can get a little bit more content out. Hopefully I can get a little bit more stuff provided to you guys, as well as maybe even possible streams on the nights of the draft. With that being said, guys, if you guys, like I said, if you guys enjoy this video, please stick around and subscribe. I appreciate the support you guys have shown on both the videos and on the roster. I really, really do. I really appreciate it. It's meant the world to me. Thank you for all the support, like I said. With that being said, guys, I'm out. Peace.